Last night, Man U played Arsenal, and the whole social media, was went crazy and all that. I think 3 weeks ago it was between Seun Kuti and Wizkid, and just last week it was what's his name, Aisho Speed that came to Nigeria, the content creator that came to Nigeria from America, and he did a lot of skits, and it was this talk and talk about he ignored Nigerian content creators and all that. For the records, I don't have anything against social media. I don't have anything against football. I don't have any. In fact, these are components that make our life better in one way or the other. Just feel the energy, especially youth, the energy we put into these things. I don't get it. We put so much energy in things that are not of values. This man get money past that man. This, in fact, in Nigeria, the poverty mentality. I think it's just poverty mentality that you feel if I'm worth 200 million naira, I cannot drive a car of 6 million or 4 million, or I cannot enter a public, a public transport, and they will be like, he doesn't know how to spend his money and all that. That is the black man mentality, show off. But let me not digress today. The energy the Nigerian youth or the people in Nigeria generally put in argument on things that are not necessary is nothing to write home about. It is nothing to write home about. People get killed every day, every other day. Just this morning in Ibadan, yesterday in Ibadan, police intercepted a truck carrying explosives. Last week or last 2 weeks, an expatriate, a Chinese expatriate, was abducted, was kidnapped in Ibadan here. So nobody is safe. But let me not digress. We are not putting we are not putting energy in places we should put our energies. We talked about in Ibadan now. They talk about I think it has happened in Kaduna and it's happening in Ibadan. They're talking about what's it called, rent and agents, outrageous agent fees and all that, commissions and all that, and you see it on one or two people's status, but it ends there. We don't follow up. We don't the same energy we put in arguing on things that are not necessary, that doesn't make sense. If we put those energies in things that make sense, I think Nigeria could be better. Now the cheaper girls are still there up till now, over, if I'm very correct, over 10 years. God knows what is happening to those girls now. Wetin be our concern now? How Asake take get private jet? One person will now say the private jet is not a modern private jet. The other person will say it's a modern private jet, and they start argument. Chelsea will beat Man U. Man U will beat Shooting Star. Things that are not, that they are necessary. But I'm just saying the energy we put into all these things is nothing to write home about. People get killed every day. People die every day. People get abducted every day. People get kidnapped every other day, every single day. And yet the energy we put in all these things. Two guys were kidnapped. I think, was it around December or this January? I can't remember. Two doctors, they were brother in Edo State. One was found dead in the stream. The other guy, which is his brother, has not been found. Now, if we push the narrative, and we keep, I know it is the job of the security expert and all that, I understand. But I'm just saying that the energy we could put into all these things, rather than argue over things that doesn't make sense, will go a long way. How Shehu Kuti go talk to Wizkid like that? How Wizkid go talk to Shehu Kuti like that? How speed that I show speed no talk to and you see Twitter, that's X, you see on people's status, you see it on Instagram, how people argue and argue and argue. You'll be seeing like millions of comments. And now just say something that can change our lives. You may not see anything, you may not even see a comment, you will not, people will just look and scroll. And we keep talking about common sense. Where is the common sense in this? I am just saying the energy we put into all these things is making Nigeria better. Speaking up. You can speak up. Another thing on social media is just you see younger guys, youth, they talk to older guys anyhow because it is social media. Same energy, we can harness it, we can put it into making Nigeria better. We can stand up and hold people responsible rather than arguing on social media about who owns this, who has a private jet, who we put so much value in money and the way we're supposed to live our lives. We it's crazy. It's so much crazy. We put we put more value in money than the way we're supposed to value our living. Everything is transactional now. Everything is transactional. Everything is just transactional in Nigeria now. Transactional. That is value. Poverty mentality. We don't care what happens to the next man. We don't care. See, those Chibok girls that were abducted, the Chinese guy that was abducted, the doctors that were kidnapped could be you and it could be me. All we keep saying is God forbid. Yes, those people too, they woke up and said, God forbid. Let me not digress. I am just saying the energy, let us put energy, energy we put in argument in this country. Let us put it to use to hold people responsible, to hold people accountable, to be constructive about things we say. Rather than saying this one is richer than that one is, I don't get it.